everyone. Yeah, I want to thank you for energy and the incredible power of the organizers for this stage. I might get a bit mixed up or stumble because I've never performed in front of such a large audience before. Even though I have a lot of followers, it's much easier to broadcast online because you're in your own comfortable environment, your own chair, your own kitchen, your own office. But it's different in a live audience, especially when the audience is arranged in a semicircle. And you know, it's like a magnifying glass. When the sun hits it, the light focuses to a point and a fire ignites. Here on stage, that's the kind of energy I feel from you. You give the audience just a bit of information, a bit of emotion, and it comes back to you 1,000-fold, lifting you up. My topic today is the key starts with you. I thought about it for a long time, wondering how should I present this topic. Well, probably the best way to convey this information is simply to share my own experience. In other words, how I built my team. I need the attention of those who want to double their team every 3 months. This information will be useful for those who want to double their turnover in the company, in their structure, in their branch. To double in 2 or 3 months, that is at that kind of speed, but it won't happen right away. Why? I'll explain. Yes, I've been with VILAVI for a little over 4 years. I got acquainted with the product on the 7th of February 2017. I'm grateful to Alena Loshkina, now Dedikova, who is here in the audience. Alena, all these applause are for you for simply taking this product, bringing it to my home and saying, try it, it's beneficial, and get to know this product. Just 5 days later, I activated the business package because I follow certain principles. Write down the principles I'm going to share, adopt them, follow them, and you will become successful. This principle is simple. If you have chosen your radar, you should only have doubts when choosing your goal. Once a goal is chosen, there's no point in doubting. You just need to move towards it. And when you have chosen your goal, in my case, I chose the company, I chose the president. Please give a round of applause to Vladimir Moshkin because he is the person I look up to and strive to follow. I observe his habits, adopt them, incorporate them into my own life, and my life changes. So when you want to become successful, you need to choose a successful company. You need to choose a successful leader, a mentor, and completely copy their habits. In other words, practice duplication. There's no need to invent anything yourself. The path has already been paved. In other words, everything is set, the road exists, the trail has been cleared. All you have to do is simply do what your senior mentors or successful leaders from other teams are doing. You don't have to focus on just one person. You can choose 5 or 10 leaders to follow and observe them every day. But it's not enough to just observe. You need to adopt their habits and incorporate them into your own life. And your life will start to change just like the same way as those successful, wealthy people. I kept doing it over and over, but things didn't work out right away. After all, we have our own inner ego. Like, damn, I can do it better than them. Yeah, I can do it this way, I can do it that way. And I made mistakes, stumbled, got back up, and stumbled and fell again. And this period lasted about 2 to 3 years in the company. Why am I putting so much emphasis on this? I want you to understand for yourself that there won't be instant success. Success will come a bit later, a little further down the road. First comes network marketing. At the very beginning, it's like a traditional business. You have to work hard, work hard, work hard, and work hard. But if you do everything right, You lay the foundation, build a team, form your first line, your second line, treat it with quality and devote attention to it every day. The most important thing is to work on yourself and move towards success every single day. You shouldn't have even a single year of no breaks at all. In other words, you just have to keep working hard. And only then, after 2 or 3 years, your team will start to double, your turnover will double, and you'll start passing through certain qualifications almost without even noticing. You'll understand this if you look at my example, if you study my story. So this 2 or 3 year stage is how it forms well. That's how it develops. So when you first come into network marketing, you start out empty, you don't have the right habits yet. You were taught one thing in school, something else at university, unwell parents, as a rule well. I come from a simple farming family. My mom is a crane operator and my dad is an assistant locomotive engineer. So I grew up working in the hay fields, mowing hay for 6 years, cleaning out manure in the barn, raising rabbits, chickens, and so on. But today, I'm on stage with a high qualification and earning millions of rubles a month. And I am happy and excited to share this experience. And I want all of you to leave here well, maybe not today, but tomorrow or the day after, feeling energized. That is, I want you to get tools and habits from me and from other speakers, from other leaders, and just start applying them every day. These are simple things, really. What did I do for 2 or 3 years? First of all, I created social media accounts, started posting there, studying the products, and immediately duplicating that in my social network. I started recording videos, sharing information, giving presentations first to relatives, then to friends, and then to strangers. You are constantly going through people. Today, my address book has 6,000 contacts. On my iPhone, there are 6,000 contacts. Of course, I can communicate with everyone, but among those 6,000 ruble people, ruble 6,000 people, I shared information, kept sharing and sharing. And I found my family in the sense that, well, you've seen the movie. Family is, well, like you have a family, the people you raise children with, bring them up, right? You create a family, but there's also a family in business, a family in network marketing. And I was looking for 7 people. Well, today there are already 8. So 8 were, at the time the film was made, there were 7. Now there are 8 people. Those are the people in my first line who have exactly the same worldview as I do. But it took me 5 years of my life to find these 8 key people. Why am I emphasizing again that you don't need everyone? Many people are intimidated by network marketing because they hear things like leaders come out and say, I have 6,000 people on my team. And a person gets scared and thinks, man, I only have 100 contacts in my address book. How could I possibly recruit 6,000 people into my team? And how many years would I need? 100 years to invite all these people? In reality, this fear is, well, it's unfounded. You need to go to that list of acquaintances, new ones, old ones, relatives, tell everyone about your goals, share what you want to achieve in life, and find 7, 8, maybe 10 key partners with whom you'll be together every day, like family, eating at the same table, sharing the same plate, calling each other every day, traveling together every day, and giving presentations together every day. In other words, this is an unbreakable unit. It's like a honeycomb. So about 7 or 8 people form this kind of honeycomb, and you all strengthen each other. And then no matter who enters your space, they can't change your beliefs, they can't bring any negativity into your environment, talk you out of your goal, or do anything else negative to try to break apart your idea. you need to surround yourself with people like that. For me, I spent 5 years, and these people weren't my relatives. These people weren't my classmates either. They even live in different regions, in other areas. Because today there is where, why did it happen this way? Because there is the internet. I just started recording and posting my videos, sharing my worldview, and these people reached out to me themselves. So you just need to talk about yourself. Don't keep everything inside. Many people think, oh, success should be kept quiet, money loves silence, success loves silence. That's not true. Money, yes, loves silence, but success, you need to talk about it, you need to declare it. You need to declare your goals and build your own team. And today, all these people, every single one of them attend every event. They attend every Willow Weibo together with me. And today is a historic moment because Crystal Dream, last fall I was the only one from my team at Crystal Dream, right? But today there are 9 of us, maybe even more. Some more people have moved up the list. So basically I was alone at Crystal Dream. And in half a year, how long has it been since fall? A little over half a year. And now at Crystal Dream, there are 12 or 15 of us. So basically, I'm multiplying myself by 15 in terms of qualification. And that's how your team will grow if you set the right priorities every day and do the right things. Then there were 2 or 3 years of this stagnation, just like in a traditional business. And now such big leaps are happening. I'll tell you why and how they happen. Because over time, just like a child who once couldn't walk, would stumble, fall, scrape their nose, get bruises, crack swell, some even get cracks, hit their forehead so hard you can see the bone, and so on. But look at children, right? I mean, even after falling several times, they don't give up on learning to walk. The thought doesn't even cross their mind. So why is it that you, as adults, after doing a few presentations or making a few invitations and getting rejected, turn away from your dreams? Because you have stereotypes in your head, you have a bunch of mental blocks that you need to get rid of. And it was precisely the birth of my children and observing them my own, my neighbors, and even other people's kids that made me start adopting these qualities from them and applying them to my own life. And it is precisely the birth of children, taking care of them and observing them, that gives you a new perspective on how you can and should move forward in life. And again, why do I keep talking about children? In my first line, all the couples are families, and most of them have several children. Why did it turn out this way? Because these people know how to create units of society. We can rely on each other. So it turns out that when I go to Crystal Dream, it seems like I'm going with a team of 12 to 15 people. But in reality, each of them has 3, 4, or 5 family members. And basically, that's already a team of 1,000 people supporting me in everything. So choose your people and let them choose you. My entire team is made. I don't have any women on my first line, but again, that's not a criticism of women. It's just that I have my own worldview as a Rodnover. According to our worldview, a woman shouldn't be the one to get food, bring it home, and feed the family. That's supposed to be a man's job, and a woman should do what a woman is meant to do, right? That is, cook delicious meals, do the laundry again, using the most modern and expensive appliances, drive the best cars, and so on. Dress in the most prestigious stores, boutiques, and so forth. So we are equal, but everyone should fulfill their own role, just like each gear in a clock has its own function. Let's take our physical body as an example. How can you say which part is the most important? The heart, the kidneys, the leg, or the lungs? They are all equally important. It's the same in our family. Yes, everyone is equally important. Children, parents, grandfathers, grandmothers, male or female, everyone is equally important. But just like ears, each one knows its function and we carry out this work. In the team, we also work with each person individually. If someone is a creative type, we don't assign them technical tasks. If someone on my team has a technical mindset and enjoys doing routine technical work, we give them tasks that are specifically technical in nature. In other words, there's no need to burden someone with something they don't like. As a rule, in many network companies, they come up with something like, I don't know, they write some kind of charter and then they try to fit everyone into that charter. That's also not right. Because you shouldn't force someone to do work if they don't want to do it. You need to find a role for that person in the team so they can occupy their own niche. And then they'll actually enjoy their work, they'll be useful, effective, and bring value to the whole team together. And now I see, looking at the monitor, for the first time I'm tracking the time, I don't pay attention. I don't live by alarms. I wake up whenever I wake up and let the world wait. And in these remaining 7 minutes, I want to share my current perspective, not from the starting point, but from the position of already being in motion about how you still need to change your habits. Like an athlete, right? You reach one milestone, train for 2 or 3 years. The next achievement comes much faster for the athlete because now they already have experience behind them. Why are there such rapid qualification jumps happening right now? That is, they're happening very quick because the team has already come together. We've learned all the necessary knowledge. We've figured out where we need to go and how to help each other, and we're growing very, very fast. But I also use a certain rule in my team and in my family. This is the rule I use to allocate the material resources that I earn. It doesn't matter if it's in a traditional business, network marketing, some kind of family business, or somewhere else that I earn money, right? Whether I'm trading there on crypto exchanges or in other places, right? Whether I'm supporting traditional businesses or supporting charity. Every month I divide my monthly income into 3 equal parts. I always spend 1/3 of the money I earn on my first line. I personally buy them expensive iPhones and luxurious cars. I diligently promote the business at my own significant expense and genuinely let people try the product. For those individuals who currently can't afford to purchase the business today, meaning the substantial volume of products, I offer flexible solutions and valuable opportunities, providing a clear pathway to success. It's like charity. What do I do with the second third? I spend the second third on people who are incarcerated to help their families. For example, wives, 3 or 4 children, and the person has been sentenced. It doesn't matter whether they're guilty or innocent in a particular situation, I just help. Kindergartens, shelters, nurseries, in general, people from my surroundings, people with disabilities and so on. And 1/3, so there are 3/3, right? And I keep 1/3 for my own life. That is, I keep it for my family. And that's the rule I live by. I'm not forcing you to follow this rule. It's my rule. And it works. Everyone on my team uses this rule. Maybe that's why we have such big results at high speed. Some of you might be running objections through your head. Like, damn, I'm poor, I'm unhappy, I don't have it, I can't set aside 1/3. I can't even do it for myself. There's definitely someone in the audience with this objection. Guys, when we are born, we all come into this world the same way, that is naked and small. We have nothing, no skills, no abilities, that's how we are. Then we grow up, right? And now here we are in adult life, and it seems like, well, we don't have money or material resources to do things the way I do them today, right? What I told you about that 1/3. But you forget that you have hands, you have feet. What I'm telling you now, I did the same thing myself when I didn't have any resources, when I had to make purchases in network marketing just so I could even use expensive products. I've been involved in network marketing since 2004, or at least familiar with it. Attended many different companies and events. Eventually, I settled on VILAVI once and for all. I could give someone a smile. I could help an elderly lady cross the street. And I still do that. I could help my neighbors shovel snow. They thank me with food, money, or maybe just a handshake. In other words, you can always just be helpful. And in fact, the purpose of any person, if you've ever wondered about your purpose, why you were born, why you live, what the goal of your life is, it's all incredibly simple. The goal of any person in this life is to be useful to the world around them. You should strive to be helpful to nature, to animals, to other people, to the elements, to restore water, to air. Be useful to everyone. And then you will find great success, much happiness, and a lot of love. Thank you.
Bravo.
And we continue on with the main event.